9-year-old Luca Sesternino gets the surprise of a lifetime at martial arts practice when he finally realizes his sparring partner isn't just any old mashup.
So let me go.
Daddy?
That's his dad, U.S. Army Staff Sergeant Rob Sesternino, shocking his son after arriving home from a nearly year-long deployment.
Well, U.S. Army Staff Sergeant Rob Sesternino and his son Luca join us right now from Nashville. Guys, good morning to you.
Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having us.
Usually we start with the grown-up, but Luca, I got to start with you. At what point did you realize that the guy you were fighting while you were wearing that blindfold was your dad?
Well, the reason why I recognized him was the sound of his voice and him calling me Shib.
Because that's your nickname, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Luca, how did you feel when you realized, when you took that blindfold off and you saw your dad standing there? The whole world was watching. I was crying. How did you feel in that moment?
Sad, happy.
Because you hadn't seen your dad in a while, right?
Nope, I haven't seen him in a year.
Yeah.
Wow.
Staff Sergeant, before that embrace that we're looking at right there, he was letting you have it pretty good. Your son is really good at Taekwondo.
I was afraid that a member of the Tennessee Army National Guard was going to go down pretty easy. I was concerned because I called him Shib the first time and he didn't respond, and I'm like, wow, this may not end up like my wife had planned.
Staff Sergeant, were you surprised by the outpouring of people when they saw this? I mean, seeing that moment with the two of you, you hadn't seen each other in so long. For all of us out here, that illustrated just how deep and wonderful the sacrifice is that you and so many of our men and women in uniform make. How have you felt with the outpouring from people who have been crying and feeling so much emotion watching this?
Well, you know, here in the Tennessee, the 230 Sustained Brigade, we're the volunteer state. And the Tennessee Army National Guard, we always have people deployed. I mean, the 278th is on a rotation in Poland and the Ukraine, so we're always moving. I wasn't surprised. You know, sometimes, unfortunately, we get wrapped around with the negative, but our lives in America truly are so positive every day. It's exactly what I expected from our country.
Well, there you go. Luca, you know, when you finally were able to hug your dad right there in that picture we're looking at, you can tell you missed him a lot. What does your dad mean to you?
A lot. Really a lot.
Like what? When he was gone, deployed, what did you miss?
It's him. Hanging out with him.
Hanging out with him. All right. So now you're back home for a while, right, Staff Sergeant?
Yes, sir.
Until the Army calls you and says, okay, here's your next assignment, right?
Absolutely. 230 Sustained Brigade, Old Hickory Volunteers. They call, we move.
There you go. And at one point, you mentioned your wife's plan. Whose idea was this to have Luca fight 3 Taekwondo fighters blindfolded?
So my wife Leah worked with Jason Warren, who's Luca's Taekwondo instructor, and our friend Helene Cash, and they were just brainstorming ideas on how to surprise Luca when I got home. And so I got home a little bit early, and the minute I got off the plane, it was like my wife put me in witness protection. She took me to a hotel. She would not let me call my friends, let them home. She said, I love you, but you can't be trusted to keep a secret.
Luca, I got to tell you. Oh, yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
So then we showed up, and everything went off like clockwork. It was really, really well run, and it's all because of the work of my wife and Luca's karate instructor.
Wow. Staff Sergeant, I want to thank you on behalf of us, and I'm sure everyone at home, so much for your service and so much for this beautiful moment that enabled us all to be so thankful for that service. And Luca, I got to tell you, I've done some of that, you know, blindfolded stuff that you were doing. You're better than me. You got a long career ahead of you, kid. Good job.
Thanks.
You bet. Luca,
Thank you very much.
I know today's a school day. You're going to go to school here after the TV appearance. Any idea?
Hopefully not. Hopefully I'm crossing my fingers not.
Well, maybe your
Never know.
You want to hang out with your dad, then just skip school. Who cares? Of course, everybody knows you're healthy because they're watching you on TV. Luca, what do you want to be when you grow up? Sky's the limit.
Sergeant.
Staff Sergeant. You want to be just like your dad.
That's pretty fabulous.
Dad just went like that.
I think you'd make a great staff sergeant one day, and you have those fighting skills you're already working on. Really, really impressive. Such a great duo and such a great story. Thank you guys so much for bringing this to the center and reminding us all how much our men and women in uniform do for us every single day. Thank you both.
You're welcome.
Thank you for your time, and God bless the United States.
God bless you both.
God bless you both.